Steve-O here with an E36 video. I'm going to be disassembling the intake manifold, checking the fuel injectors, seeing if anything's clogged. I'm going to be checking for vacuum leaks. I suspect that this could be a vacuum leak. It's a type of solenoid that runs to the, I guess it's the purge solenoid on the back of the engine block. It's back next to the firewall. Once I get the intake and everything disassembled and the manifold off, I'll be able to better track down where it's at. I'm going to be disassembling it here. Alright, so the disassembly went pretty fast. All I needed to do was disconnect the fuel injector rail, which only holding it on was two 2mm bolts, and then the intake manifold, all that was holding it on was 8 11mm bolts. It looks like whatever this solenoid is, it runs into this massive vacuum ducting type deal. I don't know what you would call that, but the other hose runs into the throttle body here and back out. So I don't know if it's a type of purge solenoid or a throttle position sensor. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm sure that it's vacuum oriented. So I think I'm just going to put a T-piece on that and see if it solves that problem, or I'll just use my Dremel tool and my pipe dope and just tap into the intake pipe and just bolt it in. But yeah, everything seems pretty clean down into the ports. All the ports seem really clean. The fuel rail had perfect pressure. I tested the pressure I put individual bottles on it and tested it. It got kind of messy. Like I said, it's just me out here doing it. I don't have a tripod yet for my camera, so I'm just gonna have to do these single segments. I got the intake manifold over here. It has some oil buildup on the back. I don't know if it's from the PVC valve or not, and if you can see in there, you can adjust the camera a little bit, there's a little bit of oil in each of the ports on here, so I'm sure that it's sucking up an ample amount of oil. So I think that I'm gonna try and install an oil catch can coming off the crankcase. As you can see, there's oil just basically weeping up out of the crankcase from that PVC valve. So I'm probably gonna make a run here to the parts store soon, get another PVC valve and an oil catch can. I might DIY oil catch can. I've seen a lot of people doing it with I'm trying to remember what it's called now. It's for let me think what it's called. It's for your air compressor. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but it's like it's a water catch. That's what it is. It's a water catch for your air compressor, and you can just unbolt a couple screws on it, take it apart, and basically just thread it into your stock line, and it'll catch any oil that it's trying to suck through. So yeah, it's going surprisingly well. No hoses seem to be broken, so hopefully that one line is my only issue with the throttle, with it losing. I don't know if it's losing pressure with vacuum or what it's doing. It's just something that I'm gonna have to keep figuring out. Alright, so I just got back from the parts store and I got a new temperature gauge. It's only $12 right now. It's on sale. And this guy, it's the water catch that I was talking about. It's got the inlet and outlet, and it's going to catch the oil coming from the PVC. And you got to get these. Let's see if I can get this open real quick. These barb fittings to screw into it. You got to get 2 of them, so the hose clamps will keep a good vacuum on it. But yeah, so far still don't have everything back together yet. I'm gonna put everything back together now, put in the new fittings, the new temperature gauge. I'm gonna route it through here back in the firewall and find a good spot. I think I'm gonna use a piece of the aluminum sheet metal that I have to make a bracket for it. I might get rid of the AC control unit, so I'm gonna have to do some looking around, see what I can try and take out. It's really humid outside right now. It's getting a little foggy on the lens. Good old Florida weather, constantly raining. Like I was saying, you want to use a little bit of Teflon tape when you put the barbs in, and that's what your finished product's going to look like. I'm going to go back and I'm going to tighten these down. I just got them snugged in there for now, just so you can see. And I'm going to have to cut the hose to fit and throw some hose clamps on. It's definitely going to be good. A little $12 piece. The barbs were, I think, $3 a piece, so you're talking about maybe $18 for an oil catch can. That's going to work for just your stock motor PVC valve oil catch. It's way better than going out and trying to spend $150 to $200 is how much they wanted for the ones at Advanced Auto Parts. So yeah, way better to just go to your home improvement store and just grab a little water catch for a air compressor. It's definitely, I don't know what this is. It looks to be like where you would, I guess, bleed out the water or oil. I might have to find something to plug that with. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm going to find out once I put vacuum on it, so we'll see. Alright, I got pretty much everything on the manifold reassembled. Got the throttle body and the intake and everything put back on. I put a couple more hose clamps on certain places where I thought that it could possibly be a vacuum leak. And I put RTV on some other spots, on some connections to the manifold itself. Like it's similar to the PCV valve, but it's on the back of the manifold, and I thought I could be getting a leak there, so I added a little RTV. It's still got a little bit of stutter to it, but it's smoothed out a lot. I'm going to have another video up tomorrow seeing how everything turned out. I haven't got to drive it yet. I also installed a new thermostat. I took out the old one and routed in a new line through the firewall up into the glove box. I'll have that mounted later.